I want to warmly welcome all of you to this morning's program, the Investment Education Summit. The Ghana Stock Exchange, Central Securities Depository, and Young Investor Network, and other partners have been very passionate about youth investment education. And I'm happy to announce that I think this is the third year we are running this program, right? This is the third year. And it's interesting to note, I have some statistics here I want to share with you about how we started this program and how far we have come. I think for the past 3 years, since we started this youth investment education, so in 2022, we have managed to go to 195 schools across the country. I think we deserve a clap. And we've managed to reach out to students with our investment educational programs. We have reached out to about 119,500 students. And we are very happy that as an organization, we are doing things that is impacting and touching the lives of Ghanaians. You know, financial literacy is an imperative for everybody. As long as you are living and you are making money, you need to learn how to invest or how to manage the money that you've worked so hard for. And so youth investment education is one of the strategic pillars at the exchange, that we believe that our young people need to be financially literate so that they can make the right decisions when it comes to their finances. And so we are excited that once again we are meeting this morning to have this Youth Investment Education Summit. And we believe that it's another opportunity for us to continue to learn and get more knowledge about what happens in the capital market and what happens in the entire financial ecosystem. So once again, I want to welcome all of you, and I wish all of us a very successful event. Thank you. Because I'm not a lecturer, right? I'm just going to engage you about the Ghana Stock Exchange, our operations and what we do. But before I do that, Cleo, thank you very much for those powerful insights that you have shared. Now, we know that for most of you, you are not using your phones. You are actually living on your phones, right? You are living on the phones 24/7, right? But, like she said, who will be handing over the baton to you, right? And the world continues to change. There's still a lot of things that are still evolving. You are the future of this country. And so, whatever we are engaging you on, also have in mind that you are the people that we are preparing to take over, right? So you must make sure that you learn all the good things and leave all the bad things, right? So that we can also leave this place a better place than we met it. I mean, that is generational thinking, right? Good. So what comes to mind when we talk about stock exchange? What comes to mind when we talk about stock exchange? You are all in the tertiary institution, right? Okay, so what comes to mind when you hear stock exchange? I want us to bring it down. Yes?
It's a space where securities are traded.
Securities are traded. Okay, that's fine. Who else? Yes. Making profit or you are making losses. Is that okay? So once you list, you open up your business and you are more transparent. Now, also before you list, you have to make sure you have a proper board and management team in place. Okay. The board will provide strategic direction for the company. The management team made up of the managing director, supply chain manager, marketing manager, human resource manager. They ensure that the company is run what? Well. It's governed properly. That's what is called good corporate governance. Is that okay? And the reason why these things are important is that people have come to put their money in your business. And we have to make sure that all these structures are in place to ensure that the company will be run well, so that these people will continue to enjoy from the benefits of their investments. So it's one of the key things that listed companies, one of the key benefits when you list on the exchange. Is that okay? Then we also have capital allocation to relevant sectors. So the way the exchange works, once a company needs capital to expand, okay, companies are in different industries. Some are in the mining industry, some are in the financial sector, some are in the agricultural sector and all that. So what the exchange does is that once a company comes to a particular sector to come and raise money, what it means is that money is going to that particular industry or that sector. Is that okay? So it also helps to spread. Then, when your stock exchange is doing well, it also gives an indication of the performance of the economy. Is that okay? Yeah. So that's also very important. And then we also create employment for a lot of people. We have financial analysts, we have investment advisors, we have valuers, accountants, legal experts. All these people are people who benefit from the capital market. So it's a form of employment for them. Okay, so this is the capital market ecosystem. So these are all the players in the system. Is that okay? So you have primary dealers, dealer banks. Okay, so when the government is issuing T-bills and all those, they are the people who buy directly. And then we have the non-primary dealer banks. So they are the people who buy from these primary dealers. So we have a lot of players in this market. We have broker dealers and we have stock brokers. Okay, stock brokers are the people who do the buying and selling on behalf of clients. Okay, but for the broker dealers, they do it on behalf of clients and they also do it on their own account. Is that okay? That's the difference between the two. So we have all these players in the market. So all these people are employed in this market. Is that okay? Okay, so let's go to the value proposition. Please, if you have any question or comment, you can stop me. Okay? Yes?
Previous slide.
Yeah.
Looking into fund managers.
Yes.
It's indicated 80, 90 or 80. Fund managers down.
Yeah.
How does one qualify to be a fund manager?
Oh, so if you want to be a fund manager, you have to go through the SEC. So the Securities and Exchange Commission is the regulator for the capital market industry. So if you want to be a fund manager, they have to license you. Is that okay? So yeah. So that's where you have to go to. So fund managers manage funds on behalf of clients. Is that okay? So when you want to buy shares and all those things, these are the people who manage it. They will guide you on all that. Okay. The people also, so people give these people money to invest for them, right? So they manage people's funds for them. That's the work they also do. And they charge some commission. Okay, so what is our value proposition? So, you know, most people, when it comes to access to capital, in Ghana especially, the first place that comes to mind is what? When you need money, the bank. But we need to reverse that. Is that okay? The banks have their role, okay? The market for capital is the stock exchange. Is that okay? We provide a platform for you to access capital. So the banks will normally give short-term loans and stuff, but the platform we provide gives you access to long-term capital. Shares is for a long term. Bonds is a long-term capital. Is that okay? So if you want a capital that you need for a long-term project, okay, then the stock market is the right place. You either come here to come and issue shares, okay, or you come to issue what? Bonds. Casapreco issued bond last year. So the shelf registration is, so the total amount they are looking at raising is 600 million. But last year, they got 350 million. So the investors, most of the investors were the pension fund managers, okay. So they bought these bonds, 350 million. I think the coupon rate was around 19%, which was far, far lower than if they had gone to borrow from the bank. Is that okay? So that is how, so that's long term. And then when you are listed on the exchange, they value your company. So a value is put on your company. There are valuers who value your company to determine the stock price. Is that okay? So it helps you to know the value of your company. And then listed companies attract and retain talent. They attract the best of people. And then also the enhances liquidity. There's liquidity is frequency at which the securities are converted to cash. So there's a lot of buying and selling. So when you're on the exchange, there's and then you become a globally sustainable company. You know, once you're on the exchange, you know the people who go to our website. Last year we had about 1.7 million people going to our website. So when they go to our website, they will see your company there. So globally you become very visible. And now people may even want to do business. They want to even invest in your company. Once you are listed on the exchange, you have so much credibility because the requirements are quite high, and that means that those requirements will make a company conduct themselves responsibly. Is that okay? Because every 3 months you are publishing your accounts, and then when there's any information about the company that the public need to know, you need to put it out there. So for instance, when a company is going to acquire, when your company is going to acquire another company, people out there must know that there's an acquisition happening. Is that okay? Recently, Guinness was acquired by the Castle. Eddie, what's the name? So when all those things happen, the public or investors will have to know. Is that okay? When managing director, a new one has been appointed, the public have to know. Is that okay? Any corporate action, the public has to know. Is that okay? Because that will inform them to either continue to invest in your company or to move away from your company. Is that okay? So globally, you become visible and people will get to know your company. And then some of the organizations, when you are going to, even the banks themselves, when you are even going to borrow money from the banks and they know that you are listed on the exchange, they believe that you are responsible because you meet all those. Dealing with suppliers, when you are dealing with vendors, they see you as a credible company, and so the way they approach you is different from how they approach a normal people. Yes, you have a question.
Is what determines the price of the stock? Or what comes into determining the price of the stock?
Is it when the company is already on the market? Yes. How the stock prices move? Yes. Is that what you're saying? So it's balance, it's demand and supply. Is that okay? So one of the things that drives every exchange is information. Okay. So sometimes when some information about the company is put out there and people feel it's positive, quickly you see that people are rushing to go and buy their shares. And once there's more demand for the shares, it drives up the price. Is that okay? So it's demand and supply. Is that okay? And those also, when it's the same thing, vice versa, when people realize that maybe a company is going to have issues, then everybody panics and they decide to sell their shares. And then once there's more supply than demand, the prices will go down. So that's how it works. So it is demand and supply. Nobody sits anywhere and determine the prices. It depends on buyers and sellers. So in Ghana, the interesting thing is that I think we are still evolving with our attitude towards trading, because when prices go down, that's the best time to buy. Is that okay? Because eventually it will come up again. But in Ghana, people buy the shares and they hold it. Because somebody will buy MTN, so after MTN, by the end of the year, we don't buy all the liquidity. So they will not trade. Even when the prices have gone up, they will not trade. They will hold on till end of the year and then they will get dividends. So those are the things that we are trying to correct. Because when the prices go up, you can sell it, make some money, and still didn't buy those same shares again. Is that okay? But people buy the shares and they go to bed. So it's a culture that we are trying to correct, but I know we'll get there. We are just 35 years old. Some people are 100 years. London Stock Exchange, we are so many years old. So the investment culture has developed in those countries, but we are still getting there. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Because let me tell you, how many of you have an investment account? Wow. So just about 6. How many of you are in this room? Okay. I know you are students, but for your investment journey, you have to start now. Is that okay? You can ask your parents to open investment account. But you are, most of you are in tertiary, so you are over 18 years, right? You are not working, but your parents give you money. And you can tell your parents to open an investment account. You yourself can open an investment account and tell your parents to put in money for you. Is that okay? Because, and I can tell you, Thelma, welcome.
Thank you.
I went to the CSD and just yesterday, and as of April, we have about 1.6 million securities accounts opened. But when you compare that to the population, that is still very small. Very, very small. We are 33 million. Of course, when you look at those above 18, maybe those above 18, we have a very youthful population. Okay. So let's say even if 20 million, if let's say 18, 20 million are about 18, right? And 1.6 million have open investment. It means that we are still not there. But for me, the good news is that last year, the monthly average was around 8,000. But now it's around almost 15,000. It's around almost 15,000 monthly. And it means that people are really opening investment accounts. And I encourage all of you, once you leave this place, please go and open an investment and start your investment journey. The earlier, the better. Is that okay? Yes.
So that one, can you yourself maybe buy and sell like
No. So normally you go through a broker, okay, and I'm sure Benedict and the rest will talk about it. You go to you cannot walk to the stock exchange street and say I want to buy shares of securities. You go through an intermediary called a broker. Is that okay? So UMB stock brokers, they are here. Yes.
So, how would a market be efficient in, let's say, EMH sense, but so experience bubbles? The bubbles, see assets, there is a sign that assets rise above their prices in the stock market. So, in EMH sense, how can the next one still be efficient in the market, looking at the prices?
Don't get your question. Come again. Repeat your question.
How could market be efficient in EMH sense, but still experience bubbles?
How could a market
Be efficient.
be efficient?
Yeah,
Okay.
in EMH sense. Like
In what?
Efficient market hypothesis,
Okay.
but still experience bubbles.
Okay, so the stock market is very dynamic. Is that okay? So a lot of things are happening every day, and like I mentioned, information plays a very key role. Is that okay? Information plays a very key role. So most of the decisions that people take with regard to buying and selling has to do with the information that they come into contact with. Is that okay? So a lot of the things that happen as a result of information, the corporate information that is put out there, and those actually drive the behavior of people. I don't know whether I've answered it because honestly I'm not getting your question well. Okay, so let's see.
Is it healthy to use investment apps instead of going to a broker?
Great. So that's a very good question. So Benedict, I I'm sure you talk about that. So they are the people. They have a very fantastic digital investment tool called CD Manager. Is that okay? The issue is that you use the app, but you still go to the broker. If you cannot deal directly with the exchange, is that okay? But for me, it's something you can do on the go. Is that okay? So you can buy shares or buy bonds or whatever on the app. So better than the team will talk about it. Yes, you have a question. Yes, so the banks, better than, so I know some of the banks have brokerage wings, but the other banks who don't have those things, you can still open it there. I don't think. Like a CSV.
Most of the banks, once they can buy fixed income, most of them are members of the firm, so they can.
Yes. So you can open it in the bank or a stock brokerage firm or a broker dealer firm. Yeah. Yes. Anson, welcome. Yes.
My question is for related to the movement. You said the trade is about demand and supply. So what's happening? I've had an experience. I wanted to buy a stock in a particular company. And the broker didn't because he's supposed to go and check there's some available. He didn't tell me he took the money. It takes long, I check up, you now tell me there wasn't some available. And you are talking about this, an account, there's record there. So what's happening to my money?
Okay. My time is almost happening. I'm wrapping up. Okay, so like I told you, in Ghana, when people buy shares, they hold on to it, they don't release it. So sometimes, for instance, especially when that particular share is doing well, when somebody wants to buy maybe MTN shares, okay, and people are holding on to it, they don't want to sell, then it will take a bit of time because the shares have to be available before the broker can go and buy for you. Is that okay? But you said this time you gave your money to the broker, and so you have to be patient, and then when that particular share is available, the broker will buy it for you, or the broker can also recommend another share of the company that is good.
But is there a law on the time frame you are supposed to report back
To the client.
Yes.
No, I'm not sure there's. But is there any law like that?
Law, I'll say no, but usually when you post it on the market, I think it depends on the order you give the broker. So you can see that if by the end of the day you don't have it, let me know, or keep the order open until you get some. So it depends on the instructions you give your broker.
So it depends on the instructions that you give your broker. Okay, let me quickly wrap up. So on the stock exchange, we have these 6 markets. So the main market is the market for the big players like MTN, Unilever, Guinness, and all the rest. And then we have the Ghana Alternative Market. So that's a special market created for the small and medium-sized enterprises. Okay, so the requirements here are a bit flexible because some of them, the requirements are high, they cannot be here. So we created a special market for the SMEs, right? Then we also have the Ghana fixed income market. So this is the market for all the fixed income securities, like treasury bills, notes, and bonds. Is that okay? Then we also have green and sustainable bond market. So this is a market that is for the issuance of green bonds. So green bonds are bonds that are issued to address environmental issues. Is that okay? And then the sustainable bonds are bonds that are issued to address a number of issues. It could be a gender bond. So going to a project that actually helps. When it comes to that, I'm sure we are always biased towards women. So a gender bond, so maybe a project for women. Is that okay? And then we also have, we can have a social bond. So it could be a bond that is issued to address a social menace or a social problem. Is that okay? So these are all bonds issued to address specific issues that has to do with the environment or any societal issue. Is that okay? So we have the platform, the guidelines and everything, but no companies has issued one yet on the Ghanaian market. But I know we are getting them because everybody is concerned about climate change. So I know we'll get there very soon. Commercial paper market, we had our first issuance a few months ago. So just as treasury bills is for the government. It's a short-term security issued by the government. Commercial paper is a short-term security issued by companies. Okay, so it's the equivalent. That's what commercial paper is. And for us, it's between 15 to 270 days. Okay, the company that issued one recently was for 150 days. 150 days. And so that also has a coupon. So it means at the end of the 150 days, there was even a release today that they are now paying back the money. Is that okay? Eddie, they are paying back I think they raised 78 million. So the 150 days is due, right? So they are paying back people's principal and the coupon, right? So that's how. So that one, when you're a company, you need quick-term liquidity, quick-term funds to address some quick-term financial needs. Then you issue that paper. Is that okay? Then we have the over-the-counter market. So that's the market. You know, there are some companies that are public companies, like a lot of the rural banks. They have shareholders, but there's no regularized platform where you can buy and sell shares. So we have created that platform for companies that are public companies, but they are not listed on the exchange to be able to also buy and sell shares. So these are the products we have: shares, government. I think I've talked about all these. So these are some of the rules and regulations guiding. So you see the plenty things we need to comply with, because it's money matters. So these are our own operational rules. So all the rules that govern our operations are here. Okay. So I think we also churn out a lot of reports when you go to our website, right? Because the stock market thrives on information. So we have a lot of reports out there. I've spoken about all this, so I don't need to belabor. Okay. These are some of our activities. So we are also affiliated to a lot of international organizations: World Federation of Exchanges, African Securities Exchange Association. So what we do is that we learn the best practices happening in other exchanges, okay, and then we adapt some of them into our market. Okay. So thank you for your attention. You can always go to our website and our social media.